Hello guys, my name is Javier Garcia and today I will be talking about soccer. I have been playing soccer for a long time now, since when I was 9 years old, since I just got inscribed in my first academy club. I loved playing as a defense when I started, but then I realized that that wasn't my position since I like to throw myself around so much, and that's how I got the position of being a goalkeeper. So today I will be talking about the position of a goalkeeper in soccer and three of the abilities you have to be a goalkeeper. Is the first one, you have to be tall. I wouldn't say a huge guy, as in 6'4" or 6'5", because that's mostly too tall already. But at the average height for a tall goalkeeper is 5'11" and up, and for that reason, it's very beneficial for a team to have a tall goalkeeper. It would be very beneficial to have a tall goalkeeper, as in for the many abilities that they can have, as in grabbing a high ball, going for a high ball. My current height right now is 6'1", so that helps me a lot for the position I love to play, and that would be the recommended. That would be the recommended height. The second ability you would have to have as a goalkeeper in the position is to be fit. Mostly people think that a goalkeeper doesn't do anything. Goalkeeper just stands in goal and doesn't do anything for the 90 minutes of play, but that's not true. As a goalkeeper, you have to be very tentative and the outlook for any place where you have to run out for the ball and be always be not even physically prepared but mentally prepared as well. So to be a very fit goalkeeper is a very good advantage, because it gives you a lot of power in your body to intimidate a player, or to go in and chase after a ball and you get there first than the opposing player in the other team. And so that's the reason you have to be a fit person in order to play this position. The third ability that a goalkeeper has to have is eye coordination. Eye coordination is actually very important, because as a field player, you actually just put attention to the ball, and as a goalkeeper, you have to put attention to the players that are coming, to the ball, to the plays that they're gonna be doing, and as a goalkeeper, you have to have the ability to follow each one of those images in your mind. You have the ball coming this way, but then you see the other opposing player coming that way. So you gotta, tell your defense, hey defense, there's someone coming to your left, to your right. There's no one for you. There's space or time. Give them those indications, and that's very important with the eye coordination, because you get to see the whole field, as in a goalkeeper where you're just at one end of the field, you get to see the whole field, and you have that peripheral vision. And as a field player, you really don't have as many options to see, right? You're just looking forward to see for the ball. And that's why the third ability for eye coordination is very important for the goalkeeper, so he can you can have that ability to see the whole field and indicate special suggestions for players and whatever recommendations you have after or before the game. As a goalkeeper, you have to have a lot of technical skill, in the sense of knowing how to move your feet. Moving your feet is very important as a position. With technical skills, you got to know which foot to put first, and how to get to those long balls that are shot outside the box, those shots that are up more closer, and you got to know how to move your feet. Have the perfect positioning, have the perfect hand attacking hand to stop or to save that ball. You got to have that skill, as in particular for the goalkeeper, to get to those saves that you need to make in the important game. And as a tactical skill is very important also, to be very communicative with your teammates. Many times, if you don't talk to your teammates, you don't know what's going on with them. maybe there's a player hiding behind them, or maybe there's a player who's free out there in the field and they haven't seen him. You got to have those tactics and analyze them yourself as a position, the position you are currently in, of talking. Have a lot of communication. Give examples. Maybe your defense doesn't see that there's an opposing player coming on his left shoulder. You just indicate to him, hey, left shoulder, left shoulder. He'll turn to his left, and he'll see the player, and I'm pretty sure that's going to help a lot, avoiding a potential goal or a potential attacking situation. And that mental skill for the goalkeeper is actually very, very important and very hard on a goalkeeper. Why? Because a field player makes a mistake and nothing happens. A goalkeeper makes a mistake and it's actually a point given to the other team. A goal given. And as a goalkeeper, your mind has to be super strong. Have a strong mindset, because you're currently protecting your team's loss, or your team's your team's score. You gotta keep that. You gotta keep that mentality of always pushing forward, being a good-minded player. And also many times it's not your day. You might have a bad day, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna go down from there. You gotta have that mentality of you get scored on maybe, and the next thing on your mind is I just gotta be prepared for the next one. Not just think about the situation that just happened. Hey, they scored on me. I feel bad. I'm just gonna feel down for the rest of the game, which is not the situation you want to be with. The mental mindset that you gotta have is hey, I know I made a mistake, or they scored on me, but I gotta prove to my team that I'm still up there. I still have hope that we're gonna turn around the score and we're gonna lead them to victory, which is what we potentially want to have at the end of the day. So an example in a situation where we can use a technical skill for a goalkeeper is mainly free kicks. Let's give that example of free kicks. When the ball is positioned wherever outside the box, because that's what it's a free kick, because it's right outside the box. You got to position 4 defense players or 4 players. Doesn't have to be just defense. So for me, if the ball's to the left of the goal, to the outside the box in the left area, you gotta put those at least 4 to 3 players in front of the ball, depending on the distance. If the ball is actually close to the goal, you put 4 players. If the ball is actually a little bit distant, you put 2, you put 3. But just to make sure, if the ball is close, put 4 players. So now you put the 4 players right next to the goalpost, to that left goalpost, because that's where the ball is located. So you have the guy putting the ball outside the box. You put those 4 players in front of the ball, but very tight to the goalpost. So this side of the goal is already protected with my 4 players, and on this side you position yourself at a position where you can attack the ball. Also, do that cross step and get to the other side of the goal in case that ball goes over my wall, which is the 4 players, or under my 4 players. I'd be able to get there as fast as possible. So what you're giving there, or what you're telling the opposing player is, try to take a shot over the wall. So that's mostly their mentality. I'm gonna try to score over the wall, and most of the time they hit the wall. So that's why, as a goalkeeper, you try to put a good wall, and so they won't score on the goal. Another technical thing that I want to add there is, on that wall, that 4 players, you start off at the end with the tallest player to the smallest, and the reason is why is because the more farthest it is, the most hard it's going to be for the goalkeeper to get there. So you put the tall player, you put the next tall player, and then maybe a medium and a medium. Why? Because in the medium area, the ball's much closer to you than the other side. The other side, the top players are going to be there, so they just jump and they can block the ball. Or under, it's going to be very difficult. But that's one of the technical skills that a goalkeeper has got to have in the game. So I'm replicating the situation of a free kick, and that's how you are supposed to interpret the situation. Okay, three different performance situations. For the first one is the speed of the game. You know, as a goalkeeper, you gotta always be in the game. You know, I don't know. Most of the games, you see the goalkeeper just standing back there, but that's not the reason. You know, a goalkeeper's always got to be following the ball. You know, he's not going to be chasing after the ball. You know, he's got to be following the ball. So every time the ball goes to the left, the goalkeeper shifts to the left. Every while the ball goes to the right, you know, the goalkeeper shifts to the right. And it's always going to be why. Why is that positioning like that? Why? Because, you know, the speed of the game is actually very fast in a soccer match. So as soon as the ball gets kicked over, you got to be in a position where you're ready to come out and get that ball and then pass it to your defenders, or, you know, gotta come back to your goal, be ready for that shot, and be prepared for that. So the speed of the game is very important for a goalkeeper. You know, a goalkeeper can't relax. A goalkeeper can't be like, you know, maybe it's not going to be a busy day today, so I'm just going to chill back in my box. But that's not the reason. You always got to be prepared. Why? Because that's one of the main things a goalkeeper has to have. You know, the read of the game. You know, always be reading the game. You know, these players, the other team likes to always enter to the right side, to the left side of the field. So, you know, you always got to be prepared on that left side, or sometimes to the right side. You know, you got to be prepared for the right side. You know, always be reading the game and be at the speed of the game as well. For another a different performance also is on the you know, the height of the goalkeeper. You know, I touched that subject since the beginning of the video. It's very important. You know, as I was growing up, I was a very short goalkeeper because I didn't really think I was going to grow much after this my age. You know, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, for the height, it's very important in a goalkeeper. You know, because many teams actually see the height of the goalkeepers. You know, when a team wants to recruit a new goalkeeper for their team, you know, the first trait they look for is the height. For me, it was very difficult when I was small. For my middle school years, they knew I was a good goalkeeper, but my height really affected me. I was about like 4'9", 4'10", you know, and they always chose, you know, a basketball player. You know, he didn't even know the position of a goalkeeper, but he was super tall, so they just put him in goal. You know, hey, this person is tall. They didn't even care if he knew the abilities of a goalkeeper. You know, what to do and stuff like that. But that was a very learning experience. You know, that's how you know when the position is for you or not. In high school also, when I entered as a freshman also, I was about 5'1", and that didn't help me at all till my junior year. That's when I was like about 5'10". So then I was an average height. You know, that was still not enough. Why do I say that? Because I've gone through some tryouts. You know, I've gone through some tryouts, and they see that I have good goalkeeping skills. You know, they just tell me afterwards, you know, hey, you're a very good goalkeeper. I would take you to my team. It's just that we have a height regulation. You know, and that's why it's very important. I think for that particular team, it was 6 feet and up, and I did not met the requirements, so that was very unfortunate. But as along the way, you know, my senior year, 6 feet, 6'1", what I'm currently right now, 6'1", almost reaching 6'2". I've seen more teams interested in me. You know, I've been with Mexican teams, you know, like Toluca and Pumas, and I've been playing with them and on their off season, you know, and they see that height that I have is very crucial and very important for the position. So that's why as a goalkeeper you gotta be at least 5'11" and up. You know, I know there's been short goalkeepers who have made outstanding history in the world of soccer. That occurs very rarely, unfortunately, because for me, you know, as I was growing up, I was a very short keeper, and it really affected my life, you know. But, you know, that things happen, and sometimes, you know, you got to learn from something. So for the third performance, you know, the pressure of the game, you know, as a goalkeeper, I think the position of a goalkeeper is very much pressurous. Why do I say that? Because the ball's always going to come towards you. You know that the other team is always going to try to score. So they're always going to try to, you know, shoot, and the pressure of being a goalkeeper is trying to keep all those balls, you know, out of the net. So it's very influential in the position. You know, you got to be very attentive. You know, you got to keep your you know, don't be so pressured that you're going to commit mistakes. You know, then I was being taught, you know, by a coach that told me that there's two types of pressure. You know, the pressure where you go in the field, you make mistakes, and you know they score a lot of goals on you, and that's what that pressure makes you. And then there's the second pressure where you have this pressure that it makes you, you know, go all out, you know, be that goalkeeper who gets his confidence in a matter of seconds. You know, that pressure of, you know, thinking, you know, today's going to be a good game. Today, I'm not going to let no goals in my net, you know. So that's the two types of pressure, you know, I put in my situation. Many times growing up as a kid, I had the first pressure, you know. I was too nervous, you know, during the game that I came out in plays that I wasn't supposed to. You know, they scored on me a lot, and I've learned. And now the pressure I have is the one that I'm committed, you know, to get to the field and win that game, or have a good practice, or show that I am very good at my position. You know, so all these things that I talked about, the position in soccer of a goalkeeper is, you know, it's very important to my life. And you know, I told you all these little traits. I told you all these little things on the position. You know, soccer is a very entertaining sport for me. You know, since I was little, my dad taught me the sport, and you know, this is where I am right now. I was potentially once called up for the UTRGV's men's first team soccer, and I started the season with them. I had some complications, but, you know, I'm trying to get back into that team. So hopefully I did go back into the team, and you know, I enjoy this sport. I love doing this any day. I train for it, and you know, for me as becoming a coach for soccer, you know, in the future, you know, educate other goalkeepers, you know, and tell them my situations, you know. That's why all these things happen, you know. So you can later on teach them in life to the new kids, you know. I want to teach my you know, my students the things I had to go through, and the things that they can change, and you know, actually be successful in their career, you know, things that I didn't get to do at my age, but now I can tell them and educate them about all this stuff. So this has been it for me. Thank you for taking the time of seeing this video, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, and take care. Bye.